Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where today we're going to take a look at the latest Kill Team expansion, Kill Team Dead Silence, and see what the Tau and Space Wolves bring to the table. So, as usual, we're going to have a quick look at the box, we'll unbox it, we'll have a quick look through the books, and we'll probably spend far too much time staring at the sprues. Because having seen the Space Wolves already, I have actually bought another set of 5 of these, split a box with a friend, as well as this, because, well, we're going to talk about that at the end. There is some big negatives, I think, with this box, and possibly with this trend that we might be starting to see. I've touched on it before, so we'll get to that at the end, but I think it's important to have a look at what this box actually offers first, and talk about the price point, and then really we have to see what happens. But how about we have a look at the box first, and then we'll tear into it and see what delights await. So, as you can see, Space Wolves versus Tau, brand new Tau stealth battlesuits, XV26s, and I think that they are stunning suits, but obviously the Space Wolves are the big one for me, because, yeah, I just love my Space Wolves. The only downside with the Space Wolves is that they are in Phobos armor, which works, I guess, for these guys, and maybe we'll touch on that as we talk more about the individual sprues. But it would have been nice to see them in Scout armor instead of Phobos, even though Phobos is the modern Space Marine Scout armor, I understand that. But there's your front cover. We have Dead Silence on the side. I mean, there's nothing that fancy, it's all as expected. And then on the back we have the full contents, which is very much feels like a stripped down box. But this box contains Kill Team Dead Silence, an assembly guide, combined Kill Team's token sheet, a campaign map pad, a campaign log pad. Oh, of course, yeah, there was the whole campaign thing, wasn't there? The Tau transfer sheet and Space Wolves transfer sheet. You get Kill Team card packs for the XV26 stealth battlesuits and the Wolf Scouts, and it also includes 14 Citadel miniatures, the full XV26 stealth battlesuits Kill Team, which is 7 operatives. There's 5 models. So semantics and I think a little bit of nuance comes into this. And also you get a homing beacon, and you can argue that that is correct. It is the full team of 7 operatives. But in my mind, and potentially your mind as well, let me know if I'm wrong, the full team would also include enough models to make all of the available operatives. And then it's the same for the Wolf Scouts. Apparently it's a full Wolf Scouts kill team of 6 operatives, which again, 1 Wolf, 5 Space Marines, that is the team that you will field. But in my mind, a full kill team is 1 of each operative at the very least. And a kill team roster is usually 10 models, as we have come to understand with this game. And then you've got your QR code for the rules. The rules, I believe, are already on the app and on Warcom, so all of your options are there. How about we get in to the real good bit? And I'm actually completely forgot, with all the negativity surrounding this box, I forgot about the campaign stuff. Looking forward to seeing what that is. And the narrative as well, because the narratives have been fantastic. But let's get into this. Get rid of this cardboard. We don't need this box. I will say, I mean, again, surprisingly, for such a small offering, it is a premium card. Give out. Just before we open it, actually, a little word on where I got this from. So this box retails, or did when it went up for sale, in limited quantities. On Games Workshop it retailed for £67.50, I believe. There or thereabouts. Maybe a couple of pounds off. So, bearing in mind there's no terrain, and it isn't, in my mind, 2 full kill teams that we are used to getting, let's be honest. It is a cut down price, and it is discounted. It's about £20 less than the usual 2 team and a little bit of terrain kill teams. The Blood and Zeal box was £87.50. This is £67.50. Typhon is a very different thing because you got so much more, and the same with Tomb World. Tomb World was the big new season starter with a whole host of terrain. And, you know, you can't really weigh this expansion against the full-fledged seasonal offerings, I don't think. I don't think that would be fair. But against Blood and Zeal, I think absolutely. You can argue that the £20 saving but not having the terrain, and honestly it was just the sister's statue, wasn't it? You can argue that that's probably a fair cut back on price, but I got this from the Mystery Den. Not sponsored, I paid for it with my own money. This is just me promoting a company that I do quite a lot with, and a company that I have full trust in, Derek over there. So pop into the Mystery Den in Darlington if you are in the area, up in the northeast. I got this for just over £50. Thanks to a very generous discount that he does on all of his Warhammer products. So at £50, and I'm going to review this as a £67.50 offering, but honestly at £50, I think this box is a steal. We just need to figure out if £67.50 full retail price is a good offering. But let's get into it. Enough delaying tactics. So we have, get rid of that bit. Let's drop the camera down as well. So we have all of our bases. They're not that interesting, are they? We have 2 lots of sprues. This is your Space Wolves. So this is exactly how they will come in the box when they're sold individually as a 6-man team. Obviously 5 Space Marines and 1 Wolf. Just split in the middle, and then it's a 2 sprue box. So very nice, we will come back to that. Then we have a sprue for our Tau. This is a very uniform sprue, isn't it? Lots of repetition. Is that it? That sort of doesn't... Does that look like a full 5-man plus however many drones plus a homing beacon kill team? We'll get into that as well. We will definitely come back to that. That sprue looks a little sparse, but very uniform, which I guess is Tau. And then we have our campaign goodies and rules goodies. Oh, we also have some loose bases in there as well. Lots of loose bases. I don't know why they're just thrown in the bottom. We also have our flight stands, which is always nice. Do we have flight bases? No, we don't. Right, you're going to have to explain that one to me, Games Workshop. As you can see in here, there is no invisible flight stand bases. And by flight stand bases, excuse the dust, this has been on the mantelpiece for quite a while. This is from the Ghost Keel, when I was going through a Tau phase. It's got cobwebs on it as well. This is those. Oh no, that's been redesigned as well. That's got a more circular thing on it. Okay, but it's meant to sit in one of these type bases. I did glue it on, but it just has a little hole that they go in. So they've obviously changed the base for the Tau. So what's the idea here then? Do you drill a hole or do you clip that off or what? I guess you could do either. Probably drilling a hole is going to be better. But do you really want to drill a hole through one of these bases? I suppose you can, it's not that hard, is it? Let's get rid of that bit of cardboard. Right, okay, so that's your Wolf and that's meant to be your 3 Tau additionals. Well, I'm surprised by that, to be honest. Can you tell? We also have the standard Tau Empire transfers and then the new Space Wolf transfer sheet as well. I've got loads of these. It's a stunning set. And you know, the Tau one, with all the Tau markings, it's not that bad either, but it is all markings in red. Obviously fully focused on the Viola Sept, whereas Space Wolves get a mix of everything because Space Marines get everything and Filthy Xenos get as little as possible. Right, let's have a look at the book first. I still like how they do this. It is in its own little carry case and yeah, a little bit of artwork. I mean, it would be nice if it was the hand-drawn stuff, but that's great. I love the Kill Team terrain, the new stuff. Certainly Tomb World is an absolute win. That's a picture we've seen time and time and time again in the promotional artwork. But we have our tokens, our book, and then our cards. Cards, as we've come to expect, also includes the Universal equipment. I haven't actually checked if it's the current Universal equipment rules or the old ones that are still being printed. I will have to double check that if I remember. But Tau and Space Wolves, it is exactly as you expect. I'm not going to go through them in any great detail, but you have got the universal equipment at the back, which is all that nonsense. We touch on that every time. And then you've got your, obviously, your data sheets for each of the characters. Drone's double-sided. A couple of the others are probably double-sided as well. How to put your team together, faction rules. This is all as standard, and it's all printed in the book as well. The cards are just a handy carry around. While they're accurate, this stuff, the wording and things, does get changed. Probably has already been changed, let's be honest. So while these rules are great, and it is nice to have physically printed rules and reference cards, the caveat always is with Games Workshop, and probably every other game out there, but specifically with Games Workshop when it comes to talking about their games, their rules are secondary to the models, and yeah, the rules change quite frequently. Even if it is just little minor bits of wording and stuff, your physical rules will be outdated very fast. So we have our book. It feels like quite a nice thick book actually. We'll come back to that. Our tokens, we have Space Wolves down there, Tau, a couple of the +1, -1 APL stuff, and then obviously our base size markers as well for easy measuring. Nothing new here, apart from the designs and things and what they do, but as a standard token set, this is exactly what we expect with these boxes. Very nice. A5 guide with assembly. Yeah, it actually tells us how to do the drones. Oh, I see. Right, there's little bits of terrain that you put in. I'm fine with that. That makes sense. But that's your assembly instructions. Again, standard. Okay, so this is the campaign stuff. So here we have the Tesiphus Expedition Campaign Log. Kill team name, campaign points, supply points, kill team's current hex, base hex, camp hexes, games won, hexes explored, games played, supply points spent, and enemy operatives incapacitated. This is on its own little pad of quite a lot of repeated, which is good. It's nice that you get this stuff, even though it's, you know, pre-printed. Obviously keep one spare in case you want to make copies, or you can design your own. It doesn't have any of the kill team fancy stuff. It used to have like Tau logos or Space Wolf logos and things on in the actual books for 3rd edition. Feels a little stripped back, but it feels like decent quality paper. And it's nice that this stuff is included, to be honest. This is handy stuff that you can just give out to your players in your campaign. And to go with these, here is the hexes that we were talking about. So again, A4, map tiles, we have our threat level, and then different hexes, different numbers. So we start with 1, and then we have 1, 2, 2 different pages by the looks of it. Oh no, we have some extras. So there is a few different designs of the hexes here as well. It's nice that this comes in. I will give them that. And I think, while it is grayscale, it could have been colour. Obviously that would be more expensive. I think that this campaign stuff, as simple as it is, to get people playing and thinking about the campaign, it's absolutely vital to include it in the boxes. This is going to be, you know, it's in the book. You're not going to get it anywhere else unless they release it on Warcom. They may already have as a PDF that you can download and print as many copies as you want. Actually, that would be really good if they did that. And I'd hope that they would do that down the line. But it's nice to see a campaign system coming back into Kill Team in some way. I don't know how detailed it is. Might be worth looking into. It could be a separate video. Because certainly narrative is my love of tabletop wargaming. Definitely more of a narrative player. And then this is the dossier for Dead Silence. And then in the back, I've just had a quick flick through. We do have copies of these campaign maps. So there's quite a few different selections, which is good. We have tomb conditions as well. I'm not going to go through each of these. This is just a quick unboxing and a look. Quite a lot of tomb conditions, service conditions as well, blighted lands, missile strikes, minefields, geomantic shards, a cryoflux blizzard. What have we got inside? Tesla rupture, weakened structure, crypt fatigue. Oh, that sounds painful, doesn't it? Xenoviral demise. Talking about bizarre biohazards, collapsing tombs, nanoweave web traps. They've obviously put some thought into this. Tomb locations, energy hotspot, hyperfractal goal, astral augury, a doomsday vault. Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of surface and tomb locations, exploring hexes and things. This is going to be probably a separate video, isn't it? So we have solo and cooperative campaigns. So I like that you can do it solo as well. Not everybody has a group that wants to play Warhammer. Talks about the threat phase as well. Campaign rounds, movement action, battle phases, the whole expedition. So there's actually quite a big chunk of campaign stuff. Alright, some of it's maps and things, but quite a lot of conditions. And then rules for your campaign. That's nice to see. I don't know why I always start at the back with these books. It's, yeah, I'm just odd that way. So, pages 4 to 11, the Sisyphus Hunt. Then Wolf Scouts 14 to 19, the Battlesuits 22 to 27, Kill Team Rules 28 to 49, Campaign Rules 50 to 72. And then we have our breakdown of the locations of the Battlesuits and the Wolf Scouts for their rules. The Sisyphus Hunt. Sentinel of the Marches. So I am not going to go through all of this lore for you right now, but there is obviously a good chunk of lore. The Dark Star team. Tau always have such heavy metal names for such a non-heavy metal faction. And then Black Fang's Ghost Pack. That's kind of cool as well. Oh, the power sword and knife as well. And he's got an instigator bolt carbine. That guy's got everything. And a wolf. The vessel signifier is Morn's Crescent. That's kind of cool. We're getting ship pictures in a Kill Team book, and I'm here for it. Oh, this is nice. I like the level of detail. So we have a little bit of details about the scouts, obviously the Tau as well. Wolf Scouts, look at that guy, he's definitely a veteran. Plasma pistols and axes all round. War gear, the Spirit of Lokier. Lots of lore on the Space Wolves, this is exactly what I want. And then we have our operatives. There's a better picture that we'll go into, a bit more lore. Moving over to the Tau, the stealth suits, look at that. That just, I know it's the new armour, but that feels like an iconic stealth suit to me. Very, very cool. Going through Tau technology, talking about weapons, marker lights, drones, of course. And then pictures of the stealth suits in action. Very, very cool. I do like these books. I feel like Kill Team has found its way of delivering its books and its art style, and they've really settled on something cool. Excuse the lights. So this is the Kill Team, and as you can see there are 6 operative options, but there's only 5 operatives in here. Obviously your drones still count, the homing beacon counts and all that nonsense, but you are going to have to choose how you build them. And I mean 6, you're missing 1 model, right? So if you wanted to build each one of these operatives, so you just have one in your back pocket, you're not worried about magnetizing, and you absolutely can magnetize if you want. But if you're not worried about magnetizing or doing any of that stuff, you're going to have to find 1 extra model, which is annoying. With the Wolf Scouts, it's worse, because you get 5 models and the Wolf, but there are 7 operatives. And you can take as many hunters as you want. So technically, there's more than 7 operatives if you want a full pack of hunters, which you could do. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but which you could do. Which sort of brings us on to the negative, doesn't it? And then we've got their faction rules and, you know, all of the Astartes stuff. Campaign pack at the back. You do have, not quite as big, but you do have a copy of that you can print out, and then obviously we have our maps in the back. Yeah, okay, so that's, the book is good, and I really like the idea of the campaign. So, first up, let's have a look at the Tau sprue. So you can clearly see the drones. Lots of different heads and arms and things. Sheathed pistols, the Chasvray knife. That's quite a cool design actually, that looks different to the other ones. Maybe it is, it's just a very compact sprue, but it does look like there's a load of different arms and things. So they're the bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that is all of your operatives. Obviously the detailing is as beautiful as you would expect. Loads of burst cannons there. The fusion rifles there as well. And in the back. Yeah, no it is. It's so weird seeing a kill team that is just that. And it's such a uniform sprue. It's quite nicely laid out actually. But that is how it's going to be in the box. Grenades, some sort of jetpack or something there. Obviously the fusion blaster. The pulse rifles, pulse cannons, whatever they are on the drones. That's one of the bases. And where's the other one? And there's the other one. So the flight stands will just slot into there. That's quite a nice way of getting around it, I suppose. I'd prefer clear ones, because they do fly, they shouldn't have a base as such, but marker light there for the drone, and then loads of different options in kit. I do love the Tau plasma pistols, pulse pistols, whatever they're called, and then that's a nice looking knife as well, as we say. Yeah, they're very pretty. I think that they have really nailed a nice blending of the older stealth suits, the original stealth suits, and the Ghost Keel. It feels an homage, but also an upgrade, which is pretty nice. So yeah, nice models. I'm looking forward to building them, and I might even play with them. I'm not averse to the Tau. Some of you may be surprised to hear. I don't mind the Tau. And then this is the Space Wolves. Again, it's fairly uniform, isn't it? So I have got another set of these, so I can build a squad of 10 for 40k if I want to. Or even 2 squads of 5, it depends. I am going to go over their 40k rules as well. Well, let's have a look at the underside. But it's Phobos. They are, in my mind, just an updated version of the Hounds of Morkai, but much more specialised. They've taken the veteran scout idea and just ran with it. But wonderful details, as you can see. There's a couple of Phobos patches there, shoulder pads embossed with the different Space Wolves logos. I think that's Black Manes and that's Logan Grimnar's Space Wolves. Lovely power sword with the bare arms there as well. You've got the sheath for the power sword, which is beautifully detailed. So all of these little bits here, they just stick onto the front of the chest to give them the extra pouches and things. But one thing I did notice with that, I mean, look at the wolf. The wolf models are so good. But one thing I have noticed with this, you see mines and things there by the looks of it. Lovely sets of knives and things, grenades, knives. We have axes, ropes. There's the rune staff for the Skjald. Why mine trap. We have pouches and things on the back of the backpacks. But these, and I'll show you with this one here. So that torso has a little round indent, 2 round indents in fact, that you can attach that piece. So those grenades will nicely slot onto that one. And you could file it down and stick that on any chest plate that you wanted. I'm just trying to find another chest plate. But that chest plate is a different connector for that piece. So if you wanted to mix and match the chest plates, which you can, you are going to have to do a bit of cutting and filing, and not all of the chests are going to work because some of them have the extra details there. Just like the Death Watch, and it looks like the Tau as well. This kit is specifically designed to just build the operatives that you can build, and some of them are different, obviously. But as a kit, we have a whole host of plasma pistols. There's an axe there, plasma pistol, axes and knives, a plasma gun, frost knife, the pistol for the, I can't remember what it's called, but the Wolf Priest-esque pistol there. But as you'd expect, beautiful detail. Lots of the fantastic Space Wolf. There's a shot of some of the heads. The absolutely fantastic Space Wolf details and things from the reworked Space Wolves, the new releases. Just incredible. Actually, there isn't any helmeted heads in here, is there? All the heads are bare. You've got a very gnarly looking one there. Yeah. Okay. It's a stunning sprue. I am very impressed with it, I have to say. In fact, let's just have a quick look at the bolt carbine as well. Lovely details. Okay, so let's talk about this box then. So at just over £50, I think it was £50.60 I paid. It's an absolute steal. 100% for 2 kill teams, which we know both of these will retail at Games Workshop price 40 quid, 42.50, whatever the Death Watch 5-man team is for these 5-man teams, it's going to be that price. Kill team tax is real, and it is a little gross, I'll be honest. But even at £67.50, which is the full RRP through Games Workshop, you are getting 2 teams, if you want both teams, at a pretty good discount. And then you're getting the campaign stuff, then you're getting the book. And honestly, if you only wanted the book from this for the campaign stuff, you can either wait and see if Warcom releases that campaign stuff as a downloadable PDF, which they may do over the coming months if they haven't already. And they've been quite good at releasing the campaign stuff and the solo play and cooperative play stuff separately in time. So I will give them credit there. But if you want all that stuff, you can probably pick it up on eBay for very little. There will be loads of them around. The real thing in here is the models. If you wanted even one of these kill teams and you were able to shift to the other set and split it with a friend or whatever you want to do, the box is pretty good value. The rules don't really matter because you can get them all online and on the free app. So as a box, if you want even one of these kill teams, I still think it's good enough value for what it is. But the problem with this box isn't the value and the knockdown price. The problem with this box for me is the fact that you have a product that does not feel complete when you look at previous, in the same edition of Kill Team, previous expansions. Blood and Zeal and Brutal Cunning, I can't remember which it was. Those boxes added so much more than just 2 teams. And those boxes also gave you 2 full teams with all of your operatives and extras to choose from, so you could build one of each operative if that was an option and you couldn't field every model in the box. For not much more money, £20 extra, so what's that? That is about just under 30% extra, isn't it? No, it's probably about 26% extra. You got terrain, alright, the Blood and Zeal was a naff statue, but you also got the barricades in Brutal and Cunning, which added so much to Volcus itself. For that extra money, I think that the terrain 1000% was worth it. The lack of terrain is fine, cut down price. It doesn't really add anything to Tomb World, but then I don't think these boxes are meant to do that. The thing that they're adding is these new ways to play. This one focusing on campaign, and then the next box, I think it's called Night Hunt, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's Sisters and the new Chaos Murder Wing, Talons and what have you. That box doesn't come with terrain either, but it does add a new way to play and interact with an over map and an underground section of the map, so you're jumping between different levels in the kill team fight itself. This stuff is nice things to add, and I think it's great, and it should always all be released separately for people who don't want to buy the box or even just the book, and I think it will. But the fact that you're not adding any new terrain, just a new way to play and kill teams, means that these boxes are no longer kind of for everybody that play kill team. They're now becoming more specialized, they're now becoming more focused on this cooperative play, the solo play, the campaign side of things. These expansions don't add a huge amount for people who just want one team anymore. And I think that that's a shame. And we'll see if this is just we're in a busy time, they're struggling to get stuff built and made because they have so many games on the go at the minute. You know, they've had issues for the last couple of years with shipping and distribution, products being out of stock quite frequently and consistently. Maybe they've slimmed down these boxes to just try and curb the impact on their manufacturing. And if that's the case, that's unfortunately something that we're going to have to deal with. And it is fine, because these teams are beautiful. But I just feel that Kill Team has lost that little bit of something. And I talked about this in numerous other rambling videos. And I just think it's sad that we're not getting the full Kill Team package anymore. This box, with other Kill Team boxes that have happened previously, it very much feels like 40k fodder. Both of these teams are 40k teams, and then they've made individual operatives. The fact that the Wolf Scouts is a 7-man team and a wolf, and you can only make 5 of the Space Marines, I think is poor in a box like this. This box is the big release box for both of these teams. So anybody who buys these limited FOMO boxes should get all of the parts to make all of the operatives for whichever team. And it's the same with the Tau. We've touched on it before. I think that that is just a huge misstep, and it might just be me that's annoyed by that, because I don't feel like the value is there as a complete Kill Team box for these boxes. They are cheaper. So value-wise, when you look at the contents and the RRP, it's still good value, especially for how expensive these Kill Teams will be when they release on their own. But I just feel like something has shifted at Games Workshop, and Kill Team isn't getting quite the love that it used to be. But that said, we did just get Tomb World, 3 months ago? With new Deathwatch, new Necrons, and a whole host of incredible Necron terrain. So maybe I'm just overthinking this. I'd love to know what you think in the comments below, so please let me know. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, do all of the YouTubey bits. The continued support on the channel is just amazing. Thank you so much for being here, for watching and interacting with me on this wild hobby journey, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.